Google just had the big keynote for their developer conference called Google I/O, and they spent a solid hour and a half talking about AI, because that's on a lot of people's minds, and there was some cool stuff there. But the last 30 minutes of that keynote, they unveiled 3 new cool pieces of hardware: the Google Pixel 7a, a Pixel tablet, and a foldable Pixel phone. So I'm gonna talk through all 3 of those. I'm gonna talk through some AI stuff, because I need to, and all the things that you need to know from Google I/O right now. Hi, I'm Andrew from Apps, and this is all the things you need to know from Google I/O, or as I call it, Googlio. Nobody else calls it that. Let's talk things. So 3 big pieces of hardware, and unlike Google, which made me wait an hour and 40 minutes to talk about the hardware, I'm gonna jump right into the hardware because it is of particular interest. They have a Pixel foldable. It's cool. It looks good. It has a 5.8-inch screen on the one side. It looks like an ordinary smartphone that you would find, like their Pixel phones. But then you unfold it, 7.6-inch tablet. So ordinary smartphone, then bloop, then you've got a tablet, a Pixel foldable. They're actually one of the first big manufacturers to give Samsung some competition here. I'm not talking like clamshell foldable phones. I'm talking about like smart foldable phones that like dual as a tablet. And so Google redesigned a lot of stuff here. Obviously a custom designed hinge and premium materials and oohs and ahs and everything like that. But genuinely, they redesigned how the batteries are working. They redesigned how the camera lenses and such are working, because when it's folded out, when it's in its tablet form, it's the thinnest Pixel device yet. This thing is very thin, so that when it actually folds together, when you go bloop, it's not that bulky. It looked good. I mean, when it was actually folded out in tablet form, you could see kind of like a plasticky protector thing over it. You could definitely see a little bit of that hinge, but neat features, some stuff that you would kind of expect, like you're watching a video on it in phone form, and then you fold it out and the video will just continue to play on the fully folded out screen from right where you left off. That's pretty cool. There's a little task manager thing that you can pull up, and then you can have like messages over here while you keep watching the video and put like that video into your message to send it to somebody. So they're making multitasking really seamless here, probably inspired by somewhat by how the iPads and Apple are doing it. Of course, Google would never admit that, but it does seem cleverly designed, like pulling in a lot of the stuff that we like from their Pixel phones with some tablet aspects, and it's called the Google Pixel Fold. It's gonna be $1,800, so not cheap. Tensor G2 chip, so that's the chip that Google has in their Pixel 7, really prioritizes the AI to bring that to the forefront so that you can be asking Google questions and things like that. So it's gonna have an OLED screen, 120 hertz refresh rate, IPX8 resistance, 12 gigabytes of RAM. You're gonna have storage options of 256 or 512, and then you have a bunch of cameras, 5 different lenses, 2 8.3 megapixels, then 3 on the back, 48, 10.8 ultra wide, 10.8 telephoto. So lots of lenses. And the cool thing, one of the neat features they showed is that with the phone unfolded, for the most part, you're using the front, you're using the tablet side, but then there's another screen there on the back that you can use as a viewfinder and take a selfie with the rear camera setup, the really good camera setup, as opposed to, on all phones, the camera on the front is worse than the camera on the back. And this one, it's like, no, use the good camera on the back to take your selfie. And then they took a selfie of the audience and there was a moment, etc., etc. Pixel foldable, it's cool. they also announced the Pixel 7a. This one is particularly relevant for me because I'm on the lookout for a new phone, and this one I thought might be of interest. And it does look like it's gonna be good. $500, and they have almost all of the same features as their top of the line Pixel 7. They're trying to really do mid-range phones well here. It's got a 72% larger sensor. It's got a 90 hertz refresh rate. That is a nice upgrade over the Pixel 6a. It's got 128 gigs of memory. It has 8 gigabytes of RAM, 6.1-inch screen, a 64 megapixel sensor on the rear camera, and a 13 megapixel ultra wide lens. So it has a lot of cool specs. They're bringing a lot of what's on their top of the line into this mid-range. You take maybe some hit in terms of materials and some of those higher end performance features, but really if you're shopping for a Pixel, the question now that the 7a is out there is why would you buy the Pixel 7? And I don't have a great answer for you there. It even has the Tensor G2 chip, so this is a good thing. They're upping the stakes with their mid-range phones, which leads the question of, they gotta up it even more for their top of the line when they come out with the Pixel 8. And then in the meantime, you can spend less to get near the top of what Google is doing with their phone hardware. I am excited as an Android user, and you might say, Andrew, why aren't you gonna spend $1,800 on the Pixel Foldable? It's tempting. But in the meantime, practical Andrew wants that 7a, and it looks pretty good. I mean, obviously, it's not gonna keep up with the top of the line like your Galaxy S23s from Samsung, but for a mid-range phone at a mid-range price, I'm excited. It even is bringing wireless charging into the mix. And then that third piece of hardware, the Pixel tablet. None of these are actually a surprise. Google leaked the foldable beforehand. The 7a was widely rumored, and the tablet was actually announced last year, but now it's becoming a thing. Oh, by the way, that Pixel 7a, $499, and it's available today. The tablet is $499 as well. You're gonna be in 3 colors, and you can pre-order it today, and it's coming out soon. It's gonna have an 11-inch display. It's another one that has that Tensor G2 chip. They're really sticking with the same processor across the board. You have 4 built-in speakers. You have 3 far-field microphones. I said it was announced last year. This year it is tangible. It is real. And the big cool thing with this tablet is that it is a fully fledged tablet. Lots of the features and the apps and the multitasking that you'd expect there, but then it comes with this dock, and you take this tablet and you go bloop. I'm pretty sure that's the sound it makes. You go bloop, and then the tablet turns into a smart display. So all of a sudden you have no need for that Nest Hub. Throw it in the garbage right now. Maybe not. Again, it's still not coming out for a couple of months, but that's the thing, is that you'll be able to command this with your voice. You'll be able to access a smart home control panel. It'll show your photos and scroll across them. The things that you like of that Nest Hub smart display will happen when it's docked and charging. And then when you want it as a tablet to take it with you to do some more intense computing or app or game stuff, you can do that too. Supposedly it'll switch between users really quickly. 12 hours of battery, video playback is how it was measured. It has 8 gigabytes of memory and either 128 or 256 gigs of storage. That's not expandable, so pick the one you're gonna want. It has an 8 megapixel camera on the front and the rear, and that stand it comes bundled with, which is good because otherwise the thing that it docks into costs $129 on its own. It also has this cool little kickstand that is even apart from the dock. I don't know, it looked weird, like this metallic ring. Whatever, kickstand, dock, tablet, doubles as a smart speaker. It's all cool, and that was the hardware stuff. Real quick on AI, there was a lot. They talked for like an hour and a half on this AI stuff. So Gmail, Google Docs, and Workplace in general are getting these new compose features where you can say, hey, respond to this email and tell them, no, airline, I don't want your gift voucher. I want a full refund for the plane ride I didn't get to take. And then it'll write that email for you and then you can say, hey, no, make that language more formal. And it'll just change it on the fly. And you can do that in Google Docs. And then you can prompt Google Docs to be like, okay, I've written a couple of paragraphs and I don't know where to go from here. And you pull up a little side panel, it will have analyzed your text and can ask you leading questions. Like, well, what about this character? What's this character's motivation? Maybe explore that. It is wild. In their slides thing, it can come up with speaker notes for you on the fly. It can come up with AI generated images and just pop these in. So it's making Bard smarter as well and integrating it with Instacart, Indeed, Adobe. Bard is their competitor with ChatGPT, and it didn't really do a great job of competing right out of the gate, but Google said, no, it's beta. That was beta. When we fully release it, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be amazing, bells and whistles, great things. So it's really leaning into the AI. They spent some time talking about responsibility, labeling like their AI generated images in the metadata to make it clear that those are AI generated images. Whether the metadata or not actually helps the situation is a whole nother matter, but the technology on display is cool. There's gonna be an immersive view in maps, so you can actually go along Google Earth to like show you your route, magic editor in photos to like move things and change things and like fill in the blanks, and Project Tailwind, which is AI based on your own info. Like if you're taking a bunch of notes in class, you can put it all together and have AI form a glossary for you or outline your info for you. It is cool. It is scary. They are having some safeguards in place, but at the very least, the technology is admirable. Let's go with the word admirable. And in the meantime, the hardware that's coming out in the relatively near future has me excited as an Android user, and I think I'm gonna seriously be looking at getting that 7A. And maybe if whimsical Andrew wins out over practical Andrew, maybe the foldable. Gosh, I hope not, but it does look cool. What about you? Which one are you interested in? Comment below to let me know. Like and subscribe for much more tech videos that will be coming your way on all these devices once we get them here in store, and we'll certainly gonna be getting them here in store, and we've got all the competing ones right now. You can check them out on app.com. You can come by, take a look, you can give us a call. We've got experts ready to go. Once again, like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and happy tech newsing.